welcome to another episode of Spiritual Tea with me, Teja Priyadarshini. With me, I have a dear friend and a colleague, Esme Terres, with me. And Esme Terres actually means love earth. Esme became a conscious being and a master channeler in 2011. And since then, Esme has been working on earth clearing and increasing the vibrational frequencies of earth and the earth energies, and that's how she's become earthbound. She is also a level 2 QHHT practitioner and an SCHH practitioner, which is soul-centered healing hypnosis technique, and she has been guided to channel source energy into Quantemz Cards and create Quantemz orgonite, which is small enough to wear it as jewelry pieces. And I've got like a small quantum card that she's given me that I use it for my phone, and the one she's wearing on her neck, the pretty little thing, is also something that you can get from her. And this jewelry protects you from any sort of 5G radiation, anything that you need protection from. This will help. Anything that is in your biofield, it will help. So before I go into more details, let's just say hi, Esme. Welcome to Spiritual Tea. I'm so happy that we could finally make it, and we're doing this today. So we've been friends and colleagues for a very long time, and I know that you have a lot of different gifts and abilities, and one of the most beautiful and intriguing gifts I find is your ability to channel light languages. But for people who are watching this, many don't know what light languages actually are. Can you tell them what that is?
Basically, we are frequency, and many of us came as, we could call, some of us are like to be called light workers, star seeds. That we didn't originate on Earth. We came as I don't know whether to call it intergalactic, universal energies that came to bring our presence on the earth at this time to, number one, help to stabilize the earth, because we're at a time of huge change, and the earth has already risen in frequency so much that she literally has been ready to go for like maybe 20, 30, maybe even longer. She's been ready to go, and that urge for her to go has made her want to sort of flip and get rid of a lot of the low vibrational energies that were on the earth, which were, a lot of it was being caused by humans. So as a means to remedy that, because if you're aware of higher dimensional beings, angels, stuff like that, the earth is a free will planet. So once you're actually incarnated into a human body, you have to ask for assistance, or you have to give consent, and that's the same with everything. You have to give consent. So instead of the usual human physical vessel having to go through an awakening process and become enlightened like a monk, what was happening was that high dimensional beings such as myself and yourself, I believe, Teja, have incarnated into a human form so that we come in with that higher frequency and remembrance. So when we speak light languages, it's as tuning into the frequency of where we are already from, and we're bringing in those codes and those frequencies from the other realms and dimensions, planets, if you want to call it planets, that we currently, our energy is based at. Does that make sense?
Yes. So you're saying that when we come into human form, the star seeds or the light workers or the light warriors, we bring in codes with us from the higher dimensions, and then we channel that energy in human form so that the earth as a conscious being can receive it, and also the humans and the humanoids on earth can also benefit from these frequencies. Is that correct?
Perfect.
Awesome. So when did you start channeling this? You said 2011, but did something happen to act as a catalyst or a trigger that you could remember where you came from and channel that information?
Well, I've always been an open channel, but I didn't know what it was. It was only in 2011 that I went through my hitting rock bottom phase, And, you know, because that's what happens with a lot of people, is it's like your life has to come to a point of like, you can't take life anymore. And then you're able to change your perspective and open up to a new way of being. And when this happened, I had a lady who's my spiritual mentor. She was guided to find someone that she's supposed to teach. And she came and she found me, and the light language or the speaking first started to come through once she was putting on a workshop to teach us how to help our trapped ancestors to move, who have become earthbound, to move over, you know, into the next realm rather than being earthbound. Yeah. So when this workshop was scheduled for the weekend, there were a series of events that happened. Spirit was basically trying to let me know, we're here, hello. And I was doing everything to like ignore it. Like, you know, things were moving and I was just like, oh, that's the wind. And, you know, quite a long story about how it happened. But basically where I was living, I had a window ledge where I used to take off all my earrings. A friend of mine came, I had this little set of crystals, starter set of crystals, and I didn't really know about crystals at this point, but my aunt had gifted them to me, and a friend came to visit and said, oh, you should have your crystals in the moonlight. So I said, I'll put them in the bathroom window because the moon comes in that window. And later on, when I've gone upstairs on my own, I used to put all my earrings on this same window ledge, and my earrings were in a circle, like a mound, and one crystal was in the middle, and the crystals that my friend had put in the bathroom were all in a line, and the second crystal in was actually in the middle of my earrings. And my friend is a guy, and I knew that he hadn't done that. So when I basically said, come and look at my earrings, did you do this? And he said, no, I just put them on the side. And so then I just started talking to like these energies in the bathroom, like saying, now like you're doing things in front of my friends. I have to like listen now. I called my spiritual teacher, my mentor, and I also called my aunt who gave me the crystals and told them both about it. And the first thing that they said was, what was the crystal? And it was a blue lace agate.
Oh, nice.
Which is throat chakra. So they said, oh, it's a message. You need to meditate with the crystal. So I meditated with the crystal, and then all of this talking just started to come out. And that's how it started. My teacher had taught me, never to fear anything and to always put protection on myself when meditating. So I didn't feel any fear, and I was putting on protection, which I would like to tell you about, because it's really important that you make sure we're on a free will planet. So you can invite any energy to come and communicate through you in any form, whether it's dowsing, channeling. You need to make sure that you are communicating with energies that are for the highest good. Yeah. That's your responsibility to do that. So I wasn't afraid, and this energy was an earthbound energy, this German scientist. Wow. And he was very angry, and he wanted to leave the earth plane now, and that's how this all started, and how my sort of journey of like working with the earth began. That once I became aware that I was a channel and I could protect myself and I was open to it, I just used to get so many earthbound energies coming through to get released from the earth plane.
That is so awesome. And I still remember you telling me this when I was over at your place and we had our quantum hypnosis session, that whenever you do call on to any spirit, any energy, that we have to have that intention that only the spirits that are here for the highest and best interest, that they can step forward and intervene whenever it's necessary, and nothing else. Everything else, please leave right now. So that is one of the most important things, I guess, for any channel, whether you're channeling light languages or you're channeling, like you said, your masters or your guides, or even if you're dowsing and using pendulums and stuff like that, it is very important to make sure that the energies that you're working with are of the highest, purest form of light. And
Yes.
that kind of changed my life. I have to tell you this, because till then I was like, okay, bring it on, like whoever it is. But since then, it's a very regular intention that I put out there. And I think for most people who are beginning to channel or have started channeling, this is a very, very important thing. And Esme, I also remember that, when we were on our trip to the Stonehenge, and, in the bus, you had started to channel your guides in a language that I didn't understand at that point to be a light language. And it was very interesting, but also very terrifying at the same time, because I didn't know what was happening to you. And there are many people who start channeling light languages, and those around them could be freaked out about it. And so do you have any advice for them?
That's a little bit of a tough one, Teja, because I've been hiding this for years, because it started so long ago and people weren't as awake and conscious and didn't have access to so much information as what they do now. So the thing that you need to do if you want to channel is that you set the intention by putting yourself in a bubble, and stating that this bubble is your energy field, and you put the intention into there that only energy for your highest good may interact with your energy field. Yeah. So if you start channeling spontaneously, then you must always say, especially if you ever feel any fear or anything, if this is not for my highest good, it must stop now. It's really, really easy. If this is not for my highest good, it must stop now. So that's something that for those people that do start channeling, for them to know and have, that reassurance within themselves that what they're bringing through is for the highest good. The other thing is that if it's for the highest good, it's going to feel good.
Yes.
When I channel, everyone feels the frequency and they feel healed, they feel light. It makes them feel good. The only person that I've ever really witnessed that felt scared by it was my mum, the first time when I first started and my friend had recorded it, and she was just like, yo, we need to go to the doctors, what's going on? Yeah. But because I'd shown my brother, and obviously I had a teacher to reassure me, what's going on and tell me what I am, that was okay. If you're channeling, so spontaneously, if I was to channel, obviously on the QHHT trip to Stonehenge, I was surrounded by people who were contacting spirit and more in tune to be more in line to become enlightened and accepting of this. Even so, I still was only allowing that in front of certain people, but there's a trust that I have with my higher self, my guide, that I would never channel in front of anyone it would be dangerous to me. And anyone where the urge for spirit to channel through me comes, I trust that it's because they're ready and they need to feel those frequencies and those codes. So generally I allow it because, but sometimes my own ego will get in the way and I'll be like, oh, I feel silly. So I'll hold it in. But
I absolutely understand.
It's all about intention. If you know that you are always setting your intention and protecting your energy, and nothing is allowed to come to you unless it is for your highest good and the highest good of the planet, then there's nothing to worry about.
Absolutely. Because when I first heard you channel that day, it was my first ever seeing someone channel in person right next to me. And I had these truth bumps, like how we call them in QHHT, just this knowingness that this was not something to be scared of. And it was so fascinating. But the conscious mind, it goes into like, okay, what is happening? Is she unwell or like something? That's where the logical mind goes to. But the deep knowingness that comes from the subconscious mind was telling me that I needed to connect with her. And that was when we actually communicated and became friends after that. And it changed my life because I had a session with you and I started to channel after that. It opened up my abilities, and I was, I had the privilege of helping you also channel some of that light language in English, and it was beautiful to watch you at work. So when someone asks us, right, like, can we channel, is there like a criteria of people who can do this, or can anybody channel?
Everyone can channel, but whether everyone is meant to, their purpose was to come and be on the earth plane and actually verbally channel languages or codes. I think it's a pre-contracted thing before you come to earth that, this is what you're going to be. Some people, they tend to channel more openly and freely when they have plant medicines. But some people, like myself, we are just natural vessels to channel. Quite often, like what you say, I'll meet people and they'll say like, oh, they were starting to do this and they thought they were talking in tongues or whatever when they were on their own, but they never allowed it. And then they met me and it was like it sort of gave them permission to allow themselves to channel, and they sort of developed from there. I would say that, we all of our physical bodies is a vessel. It's our suit that we wear when we're on earth. Like if we went to space as a human, we'd have to wear a space suit. So our spirit, the essence of who we are, this is the suit that we wear when we're on earth to have this experience. So yes, there is the capacity for anyone to be able to channel, but whether everyone's meant to or wants to is an individual thing.
Many people also would want to channel, but maybe they don't have a contract, or maybe they're not ready enough to channel such high frequencies, because the body also has to prepare itself to contain those high frequencies that come through. And it's not easy, because I know how, some of the others who channel light languages feel in their bodies when such high frequencies come through and they're not prepared for it. And they feel exhausted, They feel drained, they feel like, oh my God, what is happening? And something else is taking over, and all sorts of fears start to get triggered. So it's very important.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because it's so long ago when it all started, I used to sleep a lot while my body physically had to recalibrate, to upgrade, to be able to hold the frequencies. I have a little story for you, and I just really I don't want to scare people, but I really want to make it very clear that you must always protect your energy for your highest good, not for the earth's highest good, for your highest good. Because I had a client come for QHHT, and during her session, I channeled, and she went away and started looking at YouTubes to learn how to channel.
Oh, yes.
Because she wasn't protecting her energy, she started to invite I do not know what into her energy. And these energies were talking through her and telling her information about herself, and convinced her that they were there for her highest good. But she ended up in hospital by following the advice of whatever she'd called in. And this was through following some light language activations that she'd found on YouTube. So you must have so much discernment. For me, if this is something that's meant to happen, it will happen.
Yes.
And I can only give that advice because that's my experience of it. And the people that I know that naturally channel and then got kind of activated by being around me, they were already in alignment for that.
Yes.
So yes, you could go and find it and work towards it, because we can do anything that we want to do. But if it comes naturally to you, I would say that would be the more organic route. And if it doesn't come naturally to you, you may have gifts in other way. You may be a seer, or, clairaudient, or, you may have other gifts.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I'm just really making it really clear that, your teacher is within you. You don't necessarily have to go and look for a teacher to be able to channel, because your teacher is within you. Your main role is to ensure that you are only working with energy that is for your highest good.
Yes.
And you set that intention by setting your boundaries, how I explained earlier. And if it's meant to be, it will be, rather than if you're forcing the issue, you might be calling in things and being open to stuff that's not for your highest good.
Yes, and you can know about your abilities and what your talents or skills are from the spiritual world by doing a quantum hypnosis session. That's like one of the easiest methods of knowing what your mission on earth is, what your purpose on earth is, and if you do have abilities, what they are and how you can strengthen them. Because like Esme was saying, that we have not just the ability to channel, but there's clairvoyance, there's clairaudience, there's clairsentience, there's so many different kinds of things that you can also be gifted with. So you can also be a seer, you can be a psychic, you can be a medium. So it's nice to explore and see what else you're gifted with if channeling is not what you're meant to do. Alright, so if someone were to come and have a session with you for a channeling session, a light language healing session, how would that look like, and who can come to you for these kind of sessions?
Anyone can come for I just generally call it sound healing. So this can be done remotely. I'll also use tuning forks to work with your biofield. Spirit will also come through and channel certain sounds and frequencies to work with your energy field. I have been putting together some workshops to do light language activations, because like I say, there's quite a few people that when spirit comes through me and channels, it activates and sort of gives people permission to channel freely without the use of plant medicine. So I'm putting together a workshop to do light language activations, which of course will only be for the highest good. So they'll probably be through Zoom. I've just been doing sound healing where I'm working with the tuning forks.
All right.
So like working with the tuning forks, the first session would be a chakra balance. So basically to just working through all of your chakras to get you aligned and to get you in balance. That first session is required to basically just clear your energy. So I'll check your energy field, the size of your energy field, before we start and then afterwards, which shows me how much your field has been cleared and how aligned all of your chakras are. If you need any deeper further work after that, then you'll have like further sessions. I don't just do just light language. The channeling is just a part of who I am. So anything that I do is kind of like, it's there. I think that's what makes me different as a master channeler. It's just like, I'm always a vessel, and my contract was to open to be 7 layers of other higher versions and different dimensional versions of myself, all in the one body. So that's always there. So as you know, Teja, we can be having a conversation and then like another part of myself will start having a conversation with you or joining in.
Absolutely.
which is not typical of like someone, when they're normally channeling.
Yes.
I'm a bit different.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know how to sort of explain it.
As a master channeler, last time we spoke, you said you had a totem pole and you had these beings of light that would come through you. So can you just like explain that a little bit?
In 2012, I went to Egypt for my initiation, and to have these energies that I am anchored into my body. And if I start right at the top, I've got Big Chief, and he was anchored in. So he's like my protector. So no stray energies are ever allowed to just jump into me and to be able to control me. You may have heard of like people say like, oh, if you drink alcohol, you can allow demons and stuff into you. that is so true. It really is a true thing. They say, you know, that's why spirits are called spirits, because it allows you to be open to spirits. Okay. Before I had my initiation in Egypt, and I had my big chief put in place and anchored in, that could happen to me, and I've got memories of it happening, like where I'd black out if I drank alcohol when I was younger, but that can't happen to me anymore since, you know, I've become aware of who I am, what I am, and these energies are anchored in as my protection. It's kind of aligned with each chakra, the base chakra being the essence of me, who presents here. My heart chakra is a feminine energy, which is interchangeable. So different feminine energies can come in and out through my heart chakra. Sekhmet quite often comes through as one of the feminine energies. I used to have a lot in the beginning days in my sacral area, twins, and they were like, I want to call them Incas, but they look like Eskimo kind of people, but they're Incas, and they were twins, and they were very, very cheeky. So when I would channel them, like my energy would be all childlike, really, really cheeky, and just funny and giggling. So the different layers of, as I've evolved with it, like it's like I've aligned through these energies, and it's just like that's been like an evolution in itself of working up through the different versions and layers of myself, because they were very childlike.
I think all of us kind of evolve with our abilities, whether it's channeling or psychic abilities or anything. There's always something new that we learn about ourselves as we learn to integrate it more and more into our lives and anchor it down, like you said. So these energies, when you start channeling them, how do you feel? Like, how does it feel to be in a physical vessel with these high energy beings coming through?
I used to really feel it in my solar plexus when it first started, and it almost feel like I'm being sick because the energy like is trying to come out. And, you know, as my body was adjusting, my throat wasn't able to, you know, it wasn't used to the frequencies, but now obviously it is. And I'll just feel it on my heart. And it's like, I can feel like I'm going to channel. Sometimes it can be tiring. It depends on the frequencies of who's coming through. So recently I've channeled Tahuti, who actually led a meditation for me and my friends. But before he came through, it's just like I had to purge. My friend, she called me and said, I'm about to start channeling. I've started channeling. Can I come round? My other friend says he wants to do a meditation. So they came over. So I thought, this is for them. They want me to hold space for them. And then, you know, my friend, he's banging this drum. And as he's banging the drum, like I'm physically purging and throwing up, basically. And that was to clear my body so that even though I'd only eaten fruit and nuts that day, clear my body so I could actually hold the frequency of Tahuti or Faf, so that he could channel through and give us a message. And he ended up holding the meditation and giving us a meditation and giving us certain earthwork energies that we had to go and do. So that was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. It was a lot. So sometimes it's very, very heavy. Sometimes it's just really, really light and playful and funny. Sometimes it's absolutely exhausting. It really depends on the energy that's coming through.
Yes. And you do such amazing work. I mean, you not only hold space for Earth, because I know you do a lot of work with the Earth, you also hold space for so many others, and even me, like whenever we do sessions, I can literally feel like your energy just expanding and like enveloping, so that, you know, we stay protected and nothing touches us or harms us in any way. So that's like an experience that I think everyone should have with Esme. If you need a session, please look her up. All the information is in the description box, and she does not just the sound healing, but she also does QHHT and now SCHH as well. QHHT is full form for quantum healing hypnosis technique, and SCHH is soul-centered healing hypnosis. So try both of the techniques out with her if you like. And I'm myself looking forward to having another session with Esme really soon. So I will keep you posted on that. But is there anything else people need to know before we leave about light languages or channeling or anything else that you're doing with energy work?
I cannot say it enough. Make sure you're always working with energies for your highest good. Always, always, always. And only work with energies that are for your highest good. This is a free will planet. You have to give consent to what energies work with and through you. If you are unsure or you feel fear when you're channeling, or you have any not so nice thoughts, or anything that gives you any cause for concern, you should definitely have an SCHH, which is soul-centered healing hypnosis. This can be done online, and I love this so much because I've been guided to go all different places around the world to clear low vibrational energy from sacrificial sites and stuff like that. SCHH is a tool that our good friend Laura Whitworth has created. It's so that we can do hypnosis online, but also so that we can deal with any energies or entities that might be actually attached to you on the physical. So I 100% recommend getting one of these sessions, whether it's with Teja, with myself, with Laura. It's really, 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 really key, because these energies will drain your life force, and you can pick them up through trauma, through sex, through alcohol.
Any sort of energy.
Your life force energy is being utilized by something else, and it's not always necessarily negative. A lot of the energies that I clear, I've been doing a house clearing today. So that's something that I do. So there's a lady in Wales, she's had a house protection for the EMF and the 5G, and I've cleared the energies. I think she had about 5 different energies. Wow. She had an elemental, she had some anger energy, she had different energies that were trapped within the house. So they were lowering the vibration, not only of her house and anyone that's in it at the time, but also of the earth. And we're the same. The energy's everywhere. So we have the power to actually clear this. It's just through, certain religions and stuff, we're taught that you have to go to a priest or a rabbi or something like that. There's only one special person that can do this, but we can do this ourselves. Sometimes we need a hand, and we need to go and have a session with someone. But generally, you can keep yourself clear by always protecting your energy field and setting the intention that only the highest good can anything come to you, because everything on this planet is free will, and it can only be done to you through consent.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we leave, can we have like a small taster of how light languages sound like for whoever is watching today? Anything your guides would like us to know? Any codes they want us to receive? Anything at all, if possible.
Okay, so one sec. I think this is just going to be like a little song with some frequencies, just for the uplifting of your energy, and also to help to uplift the planet. Alarumanaraki etumareti. Tialero manunu kuku kule. Shure tanna tanna tararungu kungu. Siu tuli tiriki. Kulela ranga churanga tunturutu. Merere urore ki cha chu ki Oi kule marangati arangaro turungoro tiki. So my cat, she always comes when I channel. Don't know if you could hear her.
I could see her tail.
The mother energy, the being held energy, the main theme, because my interpretation a lot of the time comes through feelings. When I channel in English, obviously it's really clear what's being said. But like I say, it's like I'm the passenger in the car. So I'm not the driver saying this is where we're going, this is what's happening. It's just like I'm just the observer as everything's going by. And it was mainly just peace, just maintain peace and know that everything's happening as it should, but stay in peace and in love, because that's where you're being held. And everything else is going to be taken care of. The worst thing that we can do is be in fear. That's the worst thing that we can do, because we lower our vibration. Yeah, well, and when you're in peace, you're in trust. So just trust and have that faith in the fact that this earth holds us, it provides everything that we need. Everything, there's an abundance here, and all we have to do is allow that and not feel that we need to worry about the 3D things, because there's so much information out there about how we manifest, about how we create everything. The earth gives us everything we need as that solid platform to do that. So maintain peace and know that you're nurtured and you're loved.
So wonderful to reconnect with you and talk to you and have this beautiful chat about light languages and quantum healing to QHHT, to SCHH, and all the other wonderful sound healing techniques that you use to help not just the earth but all of us on this planet. So thank you so much, and I hope we can have another session really, really soon.